All right, with the first item up is the this year's budget development calendar. With if you look at that, we should just went briefly over that. We should have the first reading of the budget coming up, Ms. Kennedy, in April. Now, okay, all right.
I want to see jump.
Just go briefly on the bond anticipation notes. Does anybody have any question on those? Those are coming for a couple. What's that? Yes. Yeah, of the roughly 85 million in different bond anticipation notes, the vast majority of it all will be paid off by this time next year. Just it's relatively short term borrowing. Yes, the dollar amount for the total.
The bonds like 85 million.
Yeah, there's two. There's two.
Two different. There's a series A and B.
It's written up not to exceed the first one of 85 million, not to exceed 85 million. So we're still kind of shoring up the numbers. This series B is not to exceed 80 million. So I want to draw attention to the part where we have in here Deer Park Middle. We need $6 million to move forward with that project, but we can't borrow the whole $6 million right now because Jeff's team can't execute the work. We still need, the funds are still needed, because if we borrow money and we don't spend it right away, then we have to pay interest back.
You gotta wait for the scope of work to be done before you can borrow the money to start.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So we'll update that. So that's in the first one.
All right, so does anybody have any question on the bond anticipation note? All right, next item up is the Head Start application, which we had approved, just basic, so that they could get it in by March 1st for them to move forward for next year.
Any funding involved with that?
Yes, we spend a little over $2 million in that total each year, and the total amount of that budget is $8.7 million.
And then remember, Head Start is on a different fiscal year than we are. They're May to April, I believe. Yeah.
And the next item up was, if you want to go into the calendar, Ms. Kennedy, excuse me.
So I think in your package is a draft calendar for the budget development. I'll highlight some key dates that are coming up. This coming Friday, 2/16, the budget allocations will be sent out to schools, and so schools will get their allocations in terms of the number of students that they anticipate having next year, and they'll build their budgets based on those projections. The next date I'll highlight is right below that is 2/26, and that's a board workshop where the finance team will present to the full board what we have in terms of the budget development, what we think some of the expenditures and revenues would be, as well as some things about how we take a look at doing a multi-year type financial plan. So we'll go into a lot of details at that meeting. The next meeting then will be March 6th, which will be the Audit and Finance Committee, and we will always update the Audit and Finance Committee at each of their meetings on the development of the budget. The next time after that the full board will get an update will be at the March 26th school board meeting. We'll give an update to the board on where we are in the development. And then the next update will be to the Audit and Finance Committee on 4/10, April the 10th. And then a real critical meeting for the board will be April the 16th, which is the committee of the whole budget workshop. And the reason why that one is critical because that is the last meeting with the school board engagement on the budget before the first reading of the budget. And the first reading is scheduled for April the 23rd. And then the following reading and adoption of the budget would be a month later at May 21st. So we will engage with the Audit and Finance Committee as well as the full board at critical points in the process, so that when we get to May 21, we hopefully have all the questions answered.
Right. Does anybody have any questions on that calendar?
Nope. Can I make just one comment?
We don't have any questions now. No comment.
I just don't want the
You
board.
open a can of worms.
No, I don't want the board to get blindsided when we send the allocations out to the schools. We're sending projected salaries with no cost of living increases. Not that that's what's going to happen. We just have to get positions in place. Human resources has got to start working on contracts. So if you get a question saying, oh, we're not getting a
Yeah.
raise, nothing's been decided yet, we just have to
So
start
we,
working on
yeah, we
it.
expect a 2% cost of living and a
Yeah.
2% raise, so.
Exactly.
What about retirement this day?
It's going up by
1%.
1%.
This year, right?
Yeah, it went up 1% this year and then 1% for the next 3 years.
The next item up is the December monthly report. Again, these are all numbers in. Just to give you an idea of where, this isn't a perfect document yet, but this is for us to be able to go through each month and say, this is where we think we ought to be for the year at this point. Are we off track? Are we overspending what we should or not? Or are we under budget? So, and there, this month, Jackie Carlin, who's replacing Kelly, is, or I guess has, and is y'all
Already has
helping
it.
each other on the way out. And you can see the key items that are maybe off from what you expected. They've gone through and addressed each one of those. Purchase services, we front-loaded those this year instead of people spending, trying to spend all the money at the end of the year in June. Transfers, a lot of that is going out to charters at the first of the year. Equipment, again, spending it ahead of time. Purchase services, we've had several things go over budget this year, some intentionally, like raising teacher substitute salaries. We had the utilities contract, our janitorial contracts went up mid-year as we put out a new RFP. And then our bus driver, we spent an extra $1 million this year. So in general, we are on track. One thing where you can see underspent salaries and fringe benefits, right now tracking at about right at 10 million under budget. That's lapsed salaries or vacancies that have not been filled. So that's savings. So is at a good point right now. So does anybody have any questions on that, the budget spread?
No.
All right, no, hear none, then I will call the
I do
audit.
have a question.
Go ahead.
On next board meeting, the items we're gonna be voting on is, I'm gonna bring bonus, did you know?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, we gonna vote on what else?
The Head Start.
Head start, and that's it, yeah. And the other two are just updates. All right, here's none, no other questions, then we've adjourned the audit and finance portion. Thank you.
All right, so we can adjourn the committee of the whole. Thanks, everybody.